What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to 3-Star Draw. I'm Down South 77, and this here is an adult collector channel where we can finally talk about some G.I Joe Classified again. It feels like it's been a minute, but I got another figure out of this most recent wave. I've gotten 3 out of 4. I do have a review up on Dark Lawn and Frag Viper. If you haven't checked that out, please go over and watch that one after you watch this one. Still waiting on Footloose, so today we're going to be talking about number 154, Blowtorch. Blowtorch was my most anticipated figure of this wave, and that's why we're going to have to do this review a little bit differently today. I got Blowtorch the day before I left for JoeFest. So I was rushing around trying to get everything packed, trying to get the house in order for my dog sitter, and there was no way I could do a review on this guy. But what I did do was about 11:30 that night, I sat down at the kitchen table and I took him out and I messed around with him because I always really dug Blowtorch, and I couldn't wait. I knew it'd be sometime late this week before I could get my review out on him, and I couldn't wait that long. And I saw him at JoeFest. I would have been tempted to buy another one at JoeFest just to open him down there. So I had to go ahead and open him. So what we're going to do is we'll show the box and all that stuff, but I have him all geared up and we're just going to work backwards and take a look at him. I think that would be easier because it's kind of a pain in the ass to put all of his stuff on and get it situated. And I want to do it as minimally of amount of times as possible, as few amount of times. But this whole time when I've been back this week, he's been over here just looking at me going, "Down south, hey, don't forget about me, do my review," or, you know, however his accent was.
Jack, you sure about this bit?
Maybe he was on his way to burn down an old folks home. I don't know, Blowtorch is kind of crazy. Anyway, we're going to get him, well, we got him out. We're going to move over here and then we're just going to check him out and see if he lives up to my expectations. You know, these classified figures are, much as I love them, they're kind of hit or miss for me sometimes. So I hope they did him some justice. Let's go find out.
You're not cooking. Yeah, I do.
Take us a quick look at the box before we get into taking a look at Mr. Torch. Got your carbon fiber, awful looking generic box up here on the top. He's number 154 on the line. Over here on the side, you do have all of his attributes. I don't know what these are. I bet one of them has something to do with fire. Down here, you got the QR code that last I checked, it goes absolutely nowhere. If you want to scan it and try it right now, there's your chance. I like this blued out picture of him, but they kind of blend in when they do this on the side, and it kind of doesn't do justice to the picture. They should at least outline it or something because it's really easy to overlook. Back here on the back, you got this nice shot of him as they are, I want to say as they're coming across this crevasse here, but you got the bridge layer and it's going that way, so maybe he is covering their advance or retreat, but all your Cobra guys are over here, so I don't know what's going on, but it's a good looking picture. These look like retro card troopers. Nice shot of him with the mask on, and we're going to talk about that mask. Backpack looks really good back here, and then over here you do have this cool portrait of him. Same thing here and here, except get it in color. All right, now time for the main event. I halfway recreated this scene from Countdown for Zartan, but I realized as I staged this, it looks like he's really just trying to burn a voodoo doll of himself. I also should have got the dreadnoughts and put over here, but oh well, I didn't. I do have my original Blowtorch. This is my 3 3/4 Blowtorch from when I was a children. I did not realize that I still had the backpack and the helmet. I don't have the Blowtorch anymore. And I just feel like this guy's going to come apart during this review at some point. So you may see it. Anyway, we'll kind of look at them kind of side by side, and we'll kind of see what they kept the same. I don't do that in a lot of my reviews, but I think the changes they made with Blowtorch were kind of, I don't know, some people didn't like it, and they made some stuff stand out that really you never noticed on this figure. I don't do the comparisons in most of my videos, but I wanted to with this guy. So over here, you just got him roasting some boxes, like in that episode. I've seen that episode so many times. We'll go with what is not on him over here. He comes with 3 different flame effects. This is kind of like a burst, I guess, like a burst flame. It's translucent. It looks really good. Not super flexible. Long enough peg to put into the end of that Blowtorch. And that's something else we got to talk about. But I dig this. You kind of see what's there, see what it is. I like it. I like that they included different lengths for them, and they're different blast effects. So here you've got just the walking around with it kind of on standby. Ripley from Aliens, this reminds me of when it's on the end of the torch. Be careful with this one because it's almost clear and it blends into a lot of stuff, a lot of different colors. This one's going to be easy to lose. So this is what I do. I always talk about bagging accessories. This is what I do with my accessories, and they all go in I have one tote. One side for Joe's, one side for Cobra's. Pretty soon I'm going to have to put them in separate totes. Then you do have this long shooting out blast effect. And while I was looking at the box just then, when we took a look at the box, I realized that I probably have that upside down. Didn't even think about it. So let's turn that frown upside down. That looks a little better.
Now hit it.
So this guy's been setting for almost a week, and this is bending. It's not the actual torch bending. It's not like Torch's torch. It's the effect itself that's drooping. Now this isn't going to break or anything at the peg, but its effect is kind of heavy and it's kind of holding it down. So just be aware of that. But I do like this flame. There we go. Something's got to hit the floor, doesn't it? Never fails. You sit here and just about throw this stuff at yourself when you're doing this. So I like this one too. They're all good blast effects. I would say probably these two are, these are your action effects. Very different. But this one is also very cool. So now let's go ahead and look at the torch. Now this is usually the end of the review. So I do have everything geared up here on him. The hose going in. While we got the backpack here front and center, let's look at it versus the original backpack. They added the main tank here, and they moved the location of the hose. Do I have it upside down? I don't remember. I think this goes on this side, but it seems like this should be at the bottom. So I don't know if they moved it or not. This really seems like this should be the bottom. But as far as detail wise, you can see what they did. They split those tanks and added a center tank, probably for, one's going to be oxygen and one's going to be probably the gel that's in these things. Shoot it out like napalm, because that's kind of what I get from this effect here, is it's kind of going out like napalm. So there's your difference in the backpacks. Originally, this one, or the original, had actually a lot more detail than this one. So I'm just glad they didn't put some stupid writing on it like they did with Torches. Hose here, I think we've seen this hose before. I think this is the same one that comes with Techno Viper. That's one it seems like I should really know, doesn't it? So I like the blend with the fittings here. This looks really nice where it goes in, and it almost will completely hide that gap. But as you'll find, as you move this torch around, this will kind of work out. It fits snug. You just push it in there nice. So unplug that, fits in over here. Now when you move this around, this will bend. This is my one problem I have with the torch. Like I said, he's been sitting pretty much in this pose for a week, and we'll pull the hose off, and the peg goes one way and the stock for the torch goes the other. Now I love this because he can actually hold it. It is much better than Torch's torch, but when you have him holding it two-handed, and this is something that you could hold, he could probably hold one-handed, you got to spread those fingers out, but he can easily hold this two-handed. But just know when you do, here's what it's going to do to the torch. It's going to bend that stock. I'm not crazy about that, but it's so small, it's not real visible as he's holding it. So take that for what you will, but just know, as good of a job as they did with this blowtorch, it does do that. And I got a little bit of a stress bend there on the peg from moving this thing around, trying to get it angled right, because it wants to kick out of his hand. So let's go ahead and look at it. All green like the original was. I don't, again, have my original to compare this to, but a nice detail in it, and they did add some paint. They got the heat shield down here, and the, I guess, heat shield around the barrel. We're going to call it a barrel. A little bit of bend there, but he's been holding it for a week. Got the igniter down here on the bottom, nice hole, and the pegs for these, as you can see, seem like they're a little bigger than some of the other ones, and that's because they are heavier, which is good because they bend up. So you got your accelerant or whatever. I'm not a flamethrower expert. I just think they're cool. Down here, you got your spark source, I guess, going up. Feel free to tell me how a flamethrower actually works in the comments. And I thought this was a miss, like a sloppy paint app, but I think that's actually supposed to be there. That's too clean, going up to where this is actually mounted underneath the middle. And you do have a handle here. I don't know, I haven't tried to put his fingers through there. It's gonna be tight getting his fingers through there. You probably have to heat this up and try that. I haven't done it. Be all right for like he's carrying it around the battlefield, you know, for like some downtime shots. But I do like this. I like the way it come out. I wish maybe they'd have painted these holders that stabilize this bottle. Even black, I think, would have stood out. These bands that you tighten down. So let's go ahead and check him out. Now again, I've got all this stuff on. Go ahead and take his backpack out. Nice long backpack peg there. You can finagle this around, and it does go in, and I had it in. Let's do some finagling. How's that not lining up? It was perfect. Should have started talking about it before I took it off. All right. It does go in there nice, and it does fit snug. It's not loose, and they started putting the backpack peg holes further down so it doesn't look all funky. And on the other side, you just got this black padding, got a little bit of texture there. I don't know if you can hear it. I'm running my finger across it. Some weird plastic up there, but yeah, you don't see that. It looks good. So I did not have any funky joints or anything with this guy. I always like to show you guys that. But look, isn't he a good looking figure? Just a striking figure. Now this is the part where we're going to take and look at the original. So a lot of people did not like that they painted these. We couldn't figure out what they were, and I never noticed the original figure had them too. And it was said, I believe by Lenny, that this was some sort of coolant system for his suit to keep him cool under there, which would make sense. But I just never really noticed, give him that Centurion look. I just didn't notice it that much on this figure when I was a kid because it was all painted the same color as his outfit, and they made it stand out here. I even joked that he's carrying around a spare 6-pack here to when he gets through putting out a fire, he can just pop him a beer. Helmet, you can definitely see where they classified up the helmet. Took a little bit of liberty with putting some detail on it. I dig the helmet. It looks like he's got cameras here, which I just noticed for the first time. They're just made into the helmet. I guess that's what that is. One on each side. Looks neat. And then if you look over here, he's got something on the original helmet. Now, I don't know if this was supposed to be cameras when he come out in, what was he, 83, I think, 84. And either way, on the update, these look to me like they might be cameras. If they're not, somebody tell me. His mask is in a couple different pieces. Let's go ahead and take the helmet off. Look at it all the way around. Whatever that's supposed to be, it looks good, but there's all kind of little wires and stuff on it. So in my head, that's a camera till somebody tells me different. Does have his breather here. Nice little detail on this device that I guess probably controls all the mixture and whatnot, because one of these tanks somewhere has got to be breathable air for him. And that just plugs in. Looks nice. We're going to look at the detail in the suit in just a minute. His mask fits really, really weird. So I actually took his head off. This is much easier to put on from the bottom than it is trying to get over this like crown of his head. So this does come apart. I love the clear plastic on the lenses. They did a good job with this mask. Got some other texture here sculpted in these. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to presume to know what it is, but whatever it is, they took the time to sculpt it in and paint this, and then made this in a flexible clear plastic. So I really like the mask. I like it on the rescue firefighter too, search and rescue guy. And this hose comes out. I think the hose is packed on this and then it goes through the plastic. So get a look at that. Nice canvas looking whatever material, and then got the controls here for probably monitors all of his systems and stuff. They did a pretty good job with his head. He looks like Falcon V1 should have looked to me. This almost looks to me like they went back to the original Falcon head and made it look right. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I see like non-derpy Falcon in there. The eyes are centered, the eyebrows look good. They're the same color as his actual hair, so that's always a good time. Not a lot of texture to his hair, and you can even kind of see they got molded in there. A little bit of divot, either the hair piece is separate or that's a molded divot for the mask to fit in, or maybe he has helmet mask hair when you take all of this off. Wouldn't that be cool if that's what that's supposed to be? I do have a little paint rub back here from the strap on the mask. Looks like it rubbed a little bit back here. That wasn't there before I put it all on last week. So that's not like a sloppy paint or anything. Now let's check him out, because I really think this figure looks great. There's a lot of detail work in this, a lot in his suit here, his armor on the front, going all the way down. Got these lines through it where looks like it's all molded together in panels or something for flexibility. And then of course he does have the whatever these are supposed to be that help with the coolant on his suit. Got 3 there, 2 there, 2 here, and then 3 more on each arm. None on the back. But I like that they toned him down. Some people didn't like that, but the striking difference in these colors is, I think, what made some people not really like Blowtorch was he just didn't like, he was probably the first really not military looking Joe in Classified, I think. I mean, not counting, like Spirit in a, Native American gear, but I mean like bright colors and kind of stands out. So I think that's why some people might not have liked this guy. But I played with Blowtorch quite a bit. I'm surprised he's in as good a shape as he is. I do feel like that O-ring's just barely hanging on. And he made it with both thumbs and his crotch intact. So good for you, Blowtorch. So that's comparison-wise how he looks. You've got this made in over here on the armband on the side. And that's where his bicep cut is above that. As I said, no issues with posability for this guy out of the box, so that's a good step. I guess I didn't pose that side of that left arm very much though. So no issues with that. Hand is a little stretched where I had it holding underneath here. Thigh cut is right here, hidden by these, and they do turn. He's got his holster over here, doesn't really hit at all. It's made to just fit under it. The holster kicks out a little bit. This double belt here, it's like web belt. They painted the belt buckles. I'm always a fan of that, and it matches these. I'm a big fan of that. It does have his sidearm, so when he runs out of fuel, he can actually shoot back, which is good because he's a big old target, even if he's not bold and bright. Knees, double jointed, pinless. Same fare we're used to getting. Didn't have any issues at all. Even his ankles seemed to be pretty good, which is, for me, ankles are like my arch enemy. Drop down hips don't go down super far, but I mean, you do get some with him. He's not going to be able to set, like, fold up without these kicking out a bit. I don't want to put too much stress on it because as well made as these newer figures do seem to be, pop that right out of there and then it never fits right again, does it? Got the wrinkles on the suit underneath molded in all the way down. Does have what Velcro, I don't know, whatever it is to hold his suit down over his boots here. He's got on this double belt because this stuff's got to be heavy, right? Like this whole suit's got to weigh him down. Continuing around to the back, got the band around there. I think they're really kind of, I don't know, kind of feel like they're taking the easy way out with some of these figures around the knees because of, the knee pads and the knee joints and stuff. So it seems like lately they're doing a lot of this stuff where painted all the same color going around, and it's like padding for if you got to get down on your knees, and it hides the joints and the knee pads better. So you're seeing a lot of figures that have this. Footloose has it. I mean, it looks good with him because they mixed in plenty of other black, but some of these guys, it's just, this will be like one random color and it makes it stand out more. So it's just weird. But they did give him the knee pads down here, which makes sense for a guy like this, I guess. I guess if he's got to crouch down and torch a foxhole or something. Can you still do that? I don't think you can still do that. But you know what? My Blowtorch is an arsonist. So he's going to do it no matter what. I'm impressed with this guy. Usually this is the point where we start gearing him up, but now he's completely ungeared. What do you guys think? Did you pick Blowtorch up? Do you like him? You like the Classified update on him? I dig it. This is what I expected from a Blowtorch figure. This is what I wanted in one. This toned down colors does more match the Pursuit of Cobra line. I didn't have that figure. I wasn't collecting then. But if I was to go back and buy any Pursuit of Cobra figures, he would be one that I picked up because I like the design. So if you love this color, it takes a little bit to get rid of or get used to the more, I guess, mustard color. I don't know. It's like brown mustard
Alright, Dan.
But it looks good because they toned the red down too, so it all works together. For me, anyway. Did you guys get Blowtorch? Let me know what you think down in the comments. Tell me about flamethrowers, because I just know what I see in the movies, and they're cool and illegal. We got to give this guy a rating, don't we? I'm so out of the habit of reviewing classifieds because it's been so long since we got many. I've completely forgot to give this guy a rating. Blowtorch is nice, and aside from this is really my only gripe with this figure is the torch and the blast effects, the flame effects kind of getting bendy there. I wish the helmet and the mask fit together and went on a little bit easier, but once it's on, it looks great. It's not hard if you take the head off. I really, really, really like Blowtorch. He's not perfect, but he's on up there. I am going to give Blowtorch a 4.25 yeehaws out of 5. Really good figure, really good update, but there is some room for improvement in there. So I dig him. See you guys next time. Hit that like button, that subscribe, all of that jazz, and hopefully we'll be back soon with Footloose and Heavy Duty, I think. See y'all next time.
Pork chop sandwiches. Oh shit! Get the fuck out of here! What are you doing? Go! Get the fuck out of here, you stupid idiot! Fuck, we're all dead! Get the fuck out! My God, did that smell good?
Detect it. This is no going, and you tell me do things. I done running.
G.I. Joe!